I just can't help it. Like, so many companies email me all the time, and I just don't respond. I'm just doing my own thing. I've got my own whatevers. Oh, but when Meze tunes in and goes like, "Oi, mates, we've got a new set of headphones. You want to try them out?" I'm like, of course! How can I say no when they look like this? Sometimes I see Meze kind of copying it because they make such beautiful things. And that's, most scams are beautiful, right? Or they get criticized, because, they're not cheap. Meze don't make cheap headphones. Mate, given the state of the world and the affairs of the economies and things, it's only fair that I shoot out some quick, cheap alternatives for, like, fantastic stinking audio, mate. Like, for my top pick, DT770s, they're fully sick. Mate, then the Herder 2.800s, they're fully sick. And failing all else, mate, the Super Lux Herder 6.8100s. There you go. Like, you get them, mate, you've leveled up your audio. Alright, anyway. Oh, look, I got a little chip in mine. When it's a supercar, we're allowed to get all gawky about this kind of level of detail. But, like, my loving of Meze's part of, like, a bigger thing. And something I've just been a raving fan of this entire time with using it. Geez, like, nearly, 5 years I've been playing with Meze's. Just how accessible and easy they are to live with. It's like, what? How could it be hard to live with, like, a set of headphones? Do they not do the dishes? Are they, like, do they make a mess in the dunny and then not flush it or something? Like, we've had exquisite sounding audio since the 70s. Stereo recordings were normal. Yeah, in the 60s and back, man, it was normal just for it to be mono. One speaker, just poof. And these are my 40-something-year-old Stax Lambdas. These are the business. These are electrostatic headphones. Aren't they wild? Oh, it's leaving crud and schmutz everywhere. These are meant to have foam on the inside. It's all falling out. But these still sound magical. These are a real pain in the bum to live with. Why? Oh yeah, mate, just hand me the aux, eh? Yeah, cheers, mate. Let me just plug this into something. It doesn't plug into a headphone jack. It doesn't plug into anything. It plugs into an energizer. And into the energizer, you need to feed it full-fat home audio amplifier power. You plumb these into the room like an air conditioner. You have to choose, what is going to be my audio room where these are not going to leave? But they sound magical and require so much power that they're dubbed ear speakers. They basically, they use so much power. I have to turn these up just as loud as my full-blown floor standard speakers. And these run out the headphone jack of a MacBook Air. These are cantankerous monsters, the original Imperials. You can't get these anymore. It's amazing how unfussy these are. These really don't mind what you plug them into. They're only 32 ohms. The only time I've heard these be a bit quiet is when I brought these along to my doctor's visit so my doc can listen because he's nuts into music, and we plugged it into the computer that he does all the medical stuff on, some Windows 7 thing from 13 years ago. Only then was it, it's a little quiet. But a big part of living with these really boutique headphones is, where do you put them? Check it out. This is the actual Stax stand for the Staxes. And they've already dented the ear cup due to how they sit on there. These are made of 100% Garbolium. They are wilting birds. If I just went like this, they would snap into pieces everywhere. They are made of crap and nothing. I can't believe the plastics has held up for 40 years. These terrify me. I'm waiting to put them on my head and for them to go and fly everywhere. They still make these, and people complain of that feeling to this day. That's the Stax way. But 40 years on, they are still going, but it doesn't feel good. The fluff. This case is genius. I've taken these everywhere. And even when you get them out of the case, I'm just gonna grab them. Who cares? Hey, get this on the ground. I know you're all wincing in pain, but this is how I've been using them for like the last 4 years. I figured that's my job. Oh, white balance. Why white? Sony camera. Why? Why the white balance? Hey, what if I flip it over? Can you white balance? Okay, let's bring it in. Okay, shh. Gosh, I hate technology. I've been driving these super hard and just chucking them around because I feel that's my job. That's what I gotta find out is how durable are these things really? Look at this. You see these dimples? That's where friends of mine put them on, and that's where their thumbs rest when they push it against their head to feel these amazing ear cups. Meze's offered me replacement screens. Heck no. I've earned these dimples. That's like so many people putting these on. I'll leave them laying about the house. I won't even put them in their case. I'll just be like, well, I'm done with them. Oh, my puxel. My favorite use for these is with my Steam Deck. Laying in bed with the Steam Deck, thrashing these, and then I just chuck them on the bedside counter. I'm done. Well, time to go to bed. They are just as good as the day I got them. There is nothing up with them. The case has got some dents on it. These have survived in the belly of a plane. And for me, it's meant a lot to see these actually hold up really good. You know, anyone can make something beautiful. Anyone can make something sound good. But then to do it day after day with no love given to them. No love at all. And it's like, when I was first doing headphone videos all that time ago, Meze was a name that kept popping up, and it was one that kept being familiar to me. I'm like, I've heard of that name, but I don't remember why. I don't know if you can tell, but I'm a huge fan of Ashens. I've been watching him since like 2010, 15 years now. You know, the talking hands format. Big fan, Stuart. And sure enough, I went back through the catalogs, and yeah, back in 2012, he was checking out Meze headphones. Back in the pretty generic and just pretty safe. You know, the 99 Classics, they're really famous for, that everyone says, oh, you know, they're ubiquitous. They crowdfunded those. It was an Indiegogo campaign. You know, once you see their history and you go, oh my goodness, they did the Empyreans like only a few years later? And combined with the fact that they offer spare bits, you can pull these apart with screwdrivers. You can do whatever. So look, Meze's got new headphones out. That's what the whole shtick of this is. And I gotta look at them. Welcome to my noisy lounge room that I'm putting together. You can see all my discs, which I'm only showing you to upset Mr. Bringus. But I'm gonna start loving on Meze headphones so hard that people are just gonna assume that, well, there must be like the only good headphones he's got. That's why he's loving on them. I'm pretty keen on the hobby. Like, you know, I'm kind of interested in it. The Hemps, oh, I put these huge ear cups on them. DTs, they're so good, I'm telling you. I love the DTs. The T1s, oh, my first crazy, super expensive set. The Crushers are here. The only Bluetooth stinking headphones I'll tolerate because, yeah, it's got aux. And the super bass it does is too fun. Nothing else does that. Sony's, oh, my beloved AKGs, my original Sextets, the original K240s, the 712s, my first professional headphones I bought brand new, and then the K812s, the end of the line, made in Austria, and then my LCD 2s from Audersey. I love these things so much that I got the closed back ones. Herder 600s hiding up there. There's even more stinking AKGs there. And then there's all these. Those are headphones from over 100 years ago. These are the world's most popular headphones. There's some fugly Cosses from the 60s. You got the Herder 600's great granddad, Prisoner headphones, you know, perspective land here. You know, I'm pretty keen on audio, you know, I got the subwoofer and that, man. Yeah, I've got 800S's. Yeah, I got them. Yeah, I'm there. Oh no, shout out to Audersey for also having cases with their headphones. That's how you do it. Look how old their logo is. I got a lot of sets of headphones and I love playing with all of them, inviting friends around for like listening sessions and like headphone tours and whatnot. But those Mezes. So as I said, Meze's been chipping away at this piece of granite for a long time. You know, it was a really big deal when they released the 99 Classics. You know, and then the craziness of them jumping up to the Empyreans, you know. And then a while back, they broke down the middle with the 109 Pros. I mean, don't get me wrong, they're still expensive. A visual audio producer friend of mine, you know, came and visited to try on my headphones because, you know, wanted to get a new set of headphones. And these are the ones he picked. You know, he's got a set of these now. And he loves them to death. Well, Meze's now coming down again. They're making a headphone between the 99 Classics and the 109 Pros. Last year in December, they came out with the 105 Airs, and like a few months ago, the 105 Silvers. And these are part of the classic Meze playbook, which I adore about Meze. So the 109 Pros are like $800. It's a lot of money. And the Airs come in at $399. Still a lot of money, but a lot less. And there's multiple ways how they do it. One is, you know, they're not made in Romania. You know, they're made where everything's made. Oh, my puxel. Oh, my puxel. I do like this pronunciation of air, but I have to say it with an Aussie accent, so it'd just be Number one, the box is beautiful. Not that that means anything, right? I'm more than happy to be in a world where everything arrives in a blank cardboard box that's easily recyclable and then whatever. But it makes up for it with the fact, basically everything inside of this thing is the product. Snacks! I'm gonna eat that later. This little baggie of something. It's just a nice little monochrome dooting you about the doot. And they're heckin' loud. But I love how this is how it arrives. Like, there's no piles of packing or anything because it's like they give you the hard case. This is a part of the Meze magic to me, is the case. This is so good. My HD 800Ss, you pull them out of the box and then you're like, oh, what do I do with them now? Now where do they go? You better have a headphone stand ready for them. Luckily I did, or a hanger or something, because they're these wilting birds in your hand. They sound incredible, but where do you put them? Yeah! This is how you do it. Look at this. This is just so compact. In the center is your cables. Yeah, man, look, you get your cable. You even get an adapter to the big dingle. Yes, these are cabled, not Bluetooth. I see that as a good thing. Seriously, I have vintage sets of headphones. I mean, you've seen my Stax. They're from like 40 years ago. They work fine. And in the last 4 years, I think I've gotten rid of 2 sets of AirPods and 2 sets of over-ears of other brands. So, loving that disposable Bluetooth life. Look at this. The way that Meze's getting some of the price down, that's plastic. But look at the design. It's gorgeous. It looks so good. And in classic Meze fashion, they are just so comfortable. The self-adjusting earband, it's just like the 109 Pros. I mean, AKG have been doing this since the 70s, but it's a genius idea. Everyone should be doing it. You know, you don't have to adjust the ear cups to get it just on. You just drag them over your greasy head. I'm wearing them right now. This is great. And the other headphones, the silvers, these are $4.99, right? A little bit more, but they're actually made in Romania. That's cool. That's fun. I love other countries making stuff. Lots of countries design things, but not a lot of countries make stuff. And yeah, this box art just looks crazy, and it matches the headphones. Again, look, see, you get same amazing hard case, same packaging thing. Double the snacks. Oh, I'm gonna overeat today. How do Meze do it? I mean, again, same formula, classic. Although they give you 2 cables and a USB dongle. Oh man, look at these. How do they do it? How do they do it every time? I hate that people don't value art at all and just think that a design just magically happens, but it's so hard to come up with an original design that's also beautiful and comfortable. I'm wearing them right now. This is wonderful. That Meze magic, for the money that you get that case, you get those cables, they give you little adapters. You know, they don't just threadbare you and go, well, here's the headphones, everything else sold separately. They give you enough to actually live with these things. Even if you don't have a headphone stand yet, you can just put them back in their case. That's what I do. And that usually means that they live longer. I collect old video games. All my old Mega Drive games are in their boxes because this is how they sold them. They gave you a proper case. Look, I got Sonic the Blue Bowl #1 with its manual. And that's normal. That's because, yeah, you get a nice case. Nearly all of my N64 games are just like this. Filthy, dirty, loose cards. And that's because they came in garbage. And that's not because they use something that's recyclable and whatever. I mean, you could get clever with composites and cardboard and all that. They just shipped it in something disposable, and you're lucky if it survived at all. Like, to have this, I got this from a friend who moved overseas to be a chemist. It's the only reason why I have a box copy of this. And also, you can't unsee that his mouth lines up with his fingers, and it looks like he's got a big distended mouth. You can't unsee it. I've ruined it forever. You're welcome. That same idea. You know, if you have a great place to put them, and you want to put them back every time, and it's just easy to do so. Flip it open, stick them in, and look, they're gone. It's gonna help these freaking last and hang out. And you got to be more inclined to just bring them everywhere. This is so stuffable into a backpack. Well, Meze's made 2 sets of headphones, named them both 105s, but one called Silver and one called what's the dealio? Well, there's 2 kind of crossroads you can take when it comes to getting into audiophile stuff, right? And these, to me, are sitting right at the start where those 2 lanes diverge. One heading in the direction of, I want musical clarity, I'm going to be critical listening. And then the other way, which is the fun way. Where's the freakish ears? Yeah, look, we're going to take a quick listen with these, and these are becoming an issue. We'll talk about it. And we've got to smell them against the Herdo 600s by old mate Blurry scent. Those ears on a stand are really struggling. They've done really well with my first headphone videos where it's like pro stuff against like uber cheap stuff. And then the differences are really obvious that it sells across really well. Now we're getting into really nuanced stuff where there's soundstage, which is how big it kind of feels, and imaging where you can point where instruments are coming from. For real, you put these on with an eye blind on, you turn off those eyeballs, you can be, oh, the triangle's right there, oh, that guitar amp is right there. The stupid ears kind of mash everything into just straight up left and right. All the soundstage kind of gets turned into the same thing, and what you mostly hear is what's louder and what's quieter, because it makes the silvers sound huge, when no, actually it's like the other way around. These have more of the bottom end. They just have more of it. That's what they do. It's what they're made for. And these have more of the mids. Nearly all the music lives in the mids. Like your pianos, your guitars, your vocals, your harmonicas, your banjos. That's mids. What's in the bass? The bass. Rap, hip-hop, R&B, EDM, they're led with the bass. Outcast Roses, for instance, that tune's heaps fun, and the bass leads the whole song, and it's all sub-bass. For me, it feels like sub-bass has always existed, but it wasn't starting to be like really targeted until like the 90s, and then it's like since the year 2000s, we've actually been like using the sub-bass to create and carve melodies. Nowadays the sub-bass control we got is insane. It's why we like bass so much. There's so much happening in the bass. But headphones that accentuate the bass, you sacrifice a bit. It starts bleeding into the mids. It starts, tainting that part of it. If I'm listening to rock, jazz, folk, a lot of acoustic stuff, oh mate, it's the silvers all day, because these accentuate the mids, where I said all those instruments there's so much detail there, but there's still bass extension. There is sub bass. I could put on big stinky bass stuff. You can like sense the sub bass. It's this pressure, it's this ominous on your ears. With these, you feel the sub bass. Two songs I love using, it's this amazing Ukrainian Russian group called Teddy Killers, and the song's called Feed Your Soul. I have huge subwoofer systems, I have huge floor standard speakers, I love making the walls wobble, and that song does it. But for like the acoustic, delicate, critical listening stuff, mate, it's Abishai Cohen's Chutzpan. That song is magic. Go and listen to it. And if I've been listening to Chutzpan on these, and then I jump over to these, I go, I'm missing all the detail. Where's the intricacies of all the mids and everything? But if I'm listening to Teddy Killers out of this and then play it out of this, I'm going to go, oi, where's my big fat wobble? Headphone reviews are hard. Now I have to clarify that these aren't beats by Dre that sound ridiculous and they're just like super bass and nothing else. These are where they're leaning. They're diverging, into critical listening and the more fun side of stuff. I do have a lot of super critical listening headphones, and I really like playing games. Games are fun. For my game channel, I have a game channel. My latest video that I'm working on is I played through Need for Speed Underground, and I wore these for the entire thing, and it was excellent. That little extra fat low end and that fun bit of it just slaps. It's so fun, like car crashes and sound effects. Boom, boom. For like movies and content, these are my pick. And having these kind of headphones help make sense for like the the really expensive ones that are tipping into $1,000 and onwards, because it's when the 109s are trying to do both, where you can listen to beautiful classical music, you can listen to Chutzpan, and it will cut to Teddy Killers, and it goes, and you don't feel you have to change headphones, And it comes back to why I love these Empyreans so much. I feel I have grown as a headphone user, because, I have stayed active in the hobby. I've been acquiring new headphones, even if they don't turn into videos. I'm a fan. The review for these, a lot of people said that, they have a bit too much low end, and that can bleed into the mids, and you start losing detail. And now that I've got HD 600Ss and all the rest of it, I can agree. I actually do hear that now. And then I'm going to annoy them all and say, you know what, mate, that's why I like them so much. Gosh, out of the Steam Deck, these are so funny. Like, this is when you get into the territory where you're getting all this clarity, you're getting all this, like, carefully curated noise, but then it's also still going. But Meze's worked out a way to make it fun, yet still musical. Make it fun, but you don't feel like you're destroying the music. I mean, it's really hard to make headphones that do a bit of everything. I mean, HD 800Ss, they suck for EDM. Everything that you can hear is so crystal clear with the loudest soundstage I've ever heard. There's no slam. There's no whack. There's none of that. I just can't not fall in love with headphones that are beautiful, that then also sound beautiful. And then in this day and age of getting ripped off all the time, they give you everything you need. They give you somewhere to put them. You know, they need no power to run. You can just plug them into your MacBook and just listen to them straight away. You know, because of their gorgeous presentation and how they're packaged and how easy they are to live with, I think these are just incredibly giftable. You know, like a traditional gift of like a really nice gift would be like a watch. Everyone wears smart crap now. I mean, not me, I wear a Casio. Why not gift them a set of headphones? Cabled headphones. It's, you know, the gift of a watch is something that's beautiful and reliable and useful for your day. Now there's just watches and clocks everywhere that we go. You know, and think about the unboxing experience with the 800Ss where, you know, you take them out of the box and now you're stuck with this wilting bird that you just got to carefully put down somewhere. You know, and this, you get this beautiful box, you get this slamming hard case, yeah, and then there's just these beautiful headphones. Who's the designer? We got to shout them out or something. And, you know, if I was thinking about gifting to someone and you weren't sure which way they were gonna go, just get them the Airs. You know, and also these are so light. It's not just the name. And like the plastic build, like they are so light. These are gonna be my new gaming headphones, for real. But if you know they're an absolute music diehard and they've got albums and they've got flax, they've got all that, the stinking silvers, those are my goer. But then also, I'm totally gonna recommend that you research whatever headphones you want. You don't have to get Meze's. Meze haven't paid me money. They've just offered these headphones for my review. And I'm an absolute sucker and love them to bits, and that I just have to. But everyone I've put these on loves them. The packaging and everything you get is excellent. The fact that you could repair them if you wanted to is epic. And they're 4-year-old flagships. Oh, my books, which I've been very heavy-handed with and are dented, right? Are still perfect. They're like brand new. And look, you know, headphone jack, things don't have headphone jacks. You know, if you can spring for it, you know, just get them with like a Bluetooth little dongle thing. BTR5 is fantastic. I'm using this. I dropped my BTR5 and the glass went everywhere and in my foot. And after I picked it out of my foot, I've been using this and I've really loved this hi-fi. The size is epic. It's a Bluetooth headphone jack. You Bluetooth to this, and this is now an amplifier. This is now the DAC, and then you get better audio quality. You still get the reliability of a cable, and you only have one miserable Bluetooth thing to have to sync to. It's my favorite way to do things. I hate Bluetooth. So yeah, I'm a Meze stooge. Sorry, it's gonna really tick off a whole bunch of audiophile people. I don't care what you use. I don't care what you wear. I've got no blood in this fight. I've got stinking pile loads of headphones that I've got at my disposal, and lately I found myself always getting into the Mezes. When I did the video about the headphones I actually use, I didn't actually bring up the Empyreans. Bothers me to this day because these were literally next to my bed after I was done using them. So yeah, I'm a stooge, Meze. Thank you. I love what you do. They're so nice to do business with. They're so chill when the video comes out. They're so chill what I say about it. Probably because they know they got me hook, line, and sinker right after these arrive. Congrats on like 15 years of doing it. And that's it. Thank you so much for watching. Huge thanks to these stinky names right here. They're my biggest float planners, my $10 floaties. Thank you so much. You guys really do take the edge off on doing this stuff. That's where all my extra content is, you know, with like Snacks and Frank and car stuff and whatever's. You know, it's all on float plane. It's this beautiful little walled garden. It's lovely. So thanks so much for all these jumping in there. You can check out my other channels, you know, gaming, all the other stuff. And you know what, mate? I'll see you all next time.